car deck. So we're now coming out of the ferry port, going for Roscoff, centre of the Ville. First glimpse of Roscoff, just as the sun comes up. Very little going on. It's not surprising, it's only 7 o'clock in the morning. We're now at this lovely little chapel near to Roscoff town centre, waiting for the Emmanuel, the photographer from the French tourist office, to come and take pictures of us here. We come around the corner. There's Anne. There's the chapel with the well. Just arriving in his car. Get our own back on him by taking pictures of him. He says that when he's taking pictures of us, we've got to ignore the camera. So there we have him picking up his camera gear. We're now walking up to the chapel, and with Emmanuel. Must stop. This is the view from the long jetty in Roscoff, which need to walk along at low tide to get to the island over there. I'm going to try and pan round directly into the sun, which may not come out, and then to the town itself. Then back to the jetty. So what have you got to say for yourself?
Pudding. Delicious.
Delicious. I think mine's better. I've got traditional.
There's some banana in here though, so there's one of my 5 a day.
All right. And what about chocolate?
That's just for being a pig.
Okay. And this is crêpe de marron, which is very nice. We're now exiting Roscoff via the onion fields, for which they were famous, and sending all, they call them onion johnnies, and we're now on Route 7. It's really nice wandering through these little villages on the edge of Roscoff with the sea in the background, crisscrossing the coastal railway line. Sometimes wonder why cycle routes aren't always attached to railway lines. Look at that beautiful view. Lovely country lanes here too. A bit steep for one-handed on the video, but nevertheless it's still okay because there's no traffic. I'm way ahead at the moment, and there she is. When we first came to Roscoff in 1973, when I first came, this would have probably been in use. The cottage behind looks pretty real, but then when I come down and pan down, we have here is the village laundry. Judging by the level of weed on here, it's either a village fish pond now or it's not being used at all, which I suppose is reasonable. After all, I doubt we'd use one in the UK, and we haven't used one for perhaps 150 years. Coming into Saint-Paul-de-Léon, which is where the cycle route we know has gone properly with signs and everything, and we've come across our first proper French street market, which is very nice. This street market at Saint-Paul-de-Léon appears to go on forever. Anne has gone off for a wander. Let's try and see if she can find some socks, which we managed to lose. And one has to wonder how long it will be before she finds her way back. Some of V7 is not on road, but this is the first part we've come to, beside the onion fields. It's not that bad. I mean, Anne's riding it on small wheels, so we're doing all right. And it does avoid a main road. It is beside the river. I know the sun's in the wrong direction, but it's really well worth it. We're just about to come to a sign that puts us back onto a minor tarmac road, which is a little bit easier for us. This is the pretty way, but that's what cycle touring is all about, really. It would be quite a bit shorter, I think, to have just gone along the main road, but we decided not to. We're now coming down to the river itself. Where we have to go right along there. No, it goes up the hill past this van. Parts of the route are extremely rural, chugging on through the fields. Anne's miles in front at the moment, can't even see her. This is an excellent little cut through, which isn't on any of the maps that I was using to plan, so it's very nice to have it. Let's hope there are plenty more of them to get us down to Morlaix in this lovely peaceful way. As we've said before, and will no doubt say again, there's tremendous advantage in almost everywhere you go in being a railway train. No hills and lovely views. This is the pretty little village of Pens, where we cross the river and then turn to the east to go into some way back before Pens. The cycle route to Morlaix, the provisional one, finished, and we've just cycled up a lovely D road, and now we're continuing along it to Toulay, which was the route that we planned to do ourselves, but here we did a deviation slightly north on country lanes rather than use this route. But as you can see, It's midday and there are virtually no vehicles on this D road. It's one of the most difficult things with planning a cycle tour anywhere in Europe, but often in France as well, to work out just how much traffic there can be on D roads. We're now descending via gentle zigzags on this beautifully smooth D769 road down to the river valley, which eventually winds its way up to Morlaix. Absolutely no effort at all in doing this. This is just beautiful. Which leads up to Morlaix. Eventually we shall be on the road over there on the other side of the river, but we have to go all the way up to Morlaix and all the way back again because there's no crossing point here. This is the road bridge which bypasses Morlaix, and which we're not even sure whether cyclists can use, but we're certainly not climbing up there to try. It is possible to cross the river here, but across the loch and over the other side where the person with the dog walk is going. But we're going to go up a little bit further, try and buy one or two bits and pieces for lunch, and have a look at the bridge closer up in the town. Nice little lingerie and pastisserie. Nice baguette on the handlebars, and there in the distance is the, well, not the distance, right over the whole town is the railway bridge. Well, it's over 2 hours ago since we were here last, except that last time we were over there just by that rather lovely house, almost a chateau. It's about here that the river widens out, and soon, in another, well, few hundred yards, I suppose, kilometre at the most, it becomes the open sea. I'm now looking inland at the bay. We're near a village called Trenay. In the direction that I'm pointing now, which is something like northwest, in the far distance I can see, a very, very far distance, Roscoff. The stoker's looking very puzzled. She says that things were slipping.
And then they slipped. Just came off that little wheel, that was all. Quite a simple little wheel though.
There.
Mended, thank you.
You might just need to lift the bike off a bit and give it a
little twirl.
Seems to be fine.
Thank you. It's always a good idea when coming on trips like this to bring your own mechanic.
Well, we've had a lovely day's ride and we've come to this lovely inlet surrounded by rocks, which the like of which we've seen only really in the Hebrides and possibly in Ireland. Absolutely very lovely. And this is the hotel where we'll be staying. Eau de Temps de Voile. Very nice.